Dear and beloved students, welcome to summary of climate change and agriculture chapter of our introductory agrometeorology and climate change course. Now, for your convenience, I have given 4 videos: climate change basic 1, climate change basics 2, climate change basics 3, climate change basics 4. There, what all I have taught, I am trying to give a brief summary of the whole contents in a manner that would be useful first to remember by you, then to understand by you, finally to get good marks in your midterm, practical final and theory final examinations. Now, climate change basics 1, I started with definitions of climate change and climate variability. By definition, climate change is defined as a change in the state of climate that persists for a decade or longer. As far as climate variability definition is concerned, I have given a good definition, a very small definition, that is, climate variability is defined as a variability in the state of climate that persists for a decade or longer is climate change. A variability in the state of climate beyond that of individual weather events is the climate variability. Once again, climate change is defined as a change in the state of climate that persists for decades or longer, a variation in the state of climate beyond that of individual weather events. So, after these two definitions, we tried to understand what are the global changes, climate change processes and effects. As far as global changes are concerned, land use change for urbanization, deforestation, land conversion to agriculture and impermeable layer. Second thing is fossil fuel burning. Fossil fuels are burnt in the industry, fossil fuels are burnt for the agriculture, fossil fuels are burnt for the transportation, fossil fuels are also burnt for the other purposes. So, the fossil fuel burning, land use change combined effect is resulting in global warming. The global warming is explained to you in the first lecture through a globally accepted process called greenhouse effect. Once again, as far as first class is concerned, to come back, definitions of climate change and climate variability, global changes, climate change processes and effects, land use change, fossil fuel burning or human activities. Through greenhouse effect, globe is getting warmed up, otherwise global warming. The global warming is causing ice caps melting, oceanic area salinity or temperature, like that. And finally, the negative impacts of the global warming and human activities are described in the form of disasters. These disasters include environmental refuges, biodiversity losses, economic losses, casualties, diseases spread, subsistence farming at stake. So, in the first class, we tried to understand these things. That is climate change basics 1. Coming to climate change basics 2, we tried to understand what is global warming through greenhouse effect in a scientific way. Just to explain once again in the summary, I would like to say that sun's rays are falling on the earth through the atmosphere. Once sun's rays reaches the atmosphere, one third is reflected back, two thirds is reaching, of which approximately 48% is absorbed by the earth, remaining is absorbed by the gases in the atmosphere, certainly not nitrogen and oxygen, other gases, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, whatnot, nitrous oxide, sodium chloride, all these things, okay? Now, sun's rays are falling on the earth, two thirds is reflected back, one third is reflected back, two thirds is reaching, some of it is absorbed, most of it is absorbed by the earth. Now, the resultant reflected radiation that protects human beings, animals and crops. That's what we call it as the greenhouse effect or natural greenhouse effect, which is essential. However, enhanced greenhouse effect because of global changes, climate change processes, land use change coupled with the fossil fuel burning is enhancing the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, thereby global is getting warmed up. Now, what are the evidences for the climate change that we discussed in the climate change basics 2? What the evidences are explained to you in temperature changes on the earth, precipitation changes on the earth, extreme event changes on the earth, greenhouse gases changes on the earth, and sea level rising. Through these processes, through these mechanisms, we can prove that climate change is occurring. It is happening. So that is climate change basics 2. Coming to climate change basics 3, we tried to understand the effect of climate change on agriculture, specific weather related effects on crops. The third one is what are the adaptation strategies at different levels. Now, as far as effects of climate change on agriculture is concerned, the human population on the earth is estimated to be, as on date, 850 crores. Of them, roughly 40% are living in the semi-arid areas, roughly 30% are living in the arid zones, semi-arid zones together. Now, here the population density is high. Torrid zone, otherwise arid zone, semi-arid zone, these are all the areas in the tropics, okay? In these areas, majority of the human beings are inhabited. Here the concern is the temperature increases, both soil and air temperatures, due to climate change, not because of the natural greenhouse effect, but because of the enhanced greenhouse effect through land use change and fossil fuel burning. The crops are negatively impacted, most of the crops. For example, in case of paddy, it is estimated through research that per hectare, 1 ton of paddy yield is reduced because 1% increase in the air temperature, not soil temperature. If soil temperature increases, what happens? Enzymatic reactions get disturbed and then crop yields are reduced. So, the summary of evidence of climate change in the second class, I told how the temperature is rising from 1990 to 1910 to 1940, 0.35 degrees centigrade. However, from 1970s to 2005, 0.55 degrees centigrade, but average is 0.13 degrees centigrade per decade. So that much is happening in these areas. Like that, if you go to on both sides of the equator, both hemispheres, the middle and higher latitudes, if you take the middle latitudes, particularly humid and subhumid areas, in the subhumid areas, certainly there is a problem of droughts. But in the humid areas, no doubt, there is a possibility for increased or enhanced yields of crops, and animal rearing is really possible. So as the horticulture plantations. Okay, this is the effect of climate change on crops. at the regional and national levels. Coming to the next subtopic of climate change basics 3, we try to understand the temperature effects. Due to climate change, nighttime temperatures are increased. In other words, minimum temperatures are almost doubled. This is a concern for the agriculture scientists because during the daytime, the photosynthesis occurs, photosynthetes are accumulated in the crops. Now, if the nighttime temperature or minimum temperature is rising, the photosynthesis that are produced during the day are consumed, thereby reduction in the crop yields. Similarly, daytime temperatures are increasing due to climate change. This is resulting in the growing season length of the crop, forcing the farmer to spend money for extra days on the field for the crop. Coming to the carbon dioxide increase in the atmosphere, I told in the second lecture that 280 ppm by volume is at present pre-industrial area 280 ppm by volume. Now 380 ppm by volume. Now this much carbon dioxide increase. Okay, what is causing is no doubt fertilization effect is there. That fertilization effect certainly enhances the biomass, but not the crop yields. Crop yields are reduced and quality is reduced. So, specific weather related effects of climate change is concerned. Temperatures, nighttime doubled, daytime increased. Both the cases, the crop yields are reduced. Now, as far as general circulation models and their use for climate change computation is concerned, we discussed it in the 4th class. Here I would like to say one point that not only temperature but also carbon dioxide are causing to a certain extent concern as far as crop yields and quality of the crops and animal production is concerned. Now, in the climate change basics 4 class is concerned, I tried to give you some information on 4 small subheadings: tackling the climate change, climate neutral, computation of climate change, and finally models for climate change. Now, before that, I would like to say something about the adaptation strategies that we discussed in the 3rd class. In other words, climate change basics 3. As far as adaptation is concerned, at the global level, at the regional and national level, at the local level and at farmer level, we can go for adaptation through education, research and outreach or extension methodologies. Now, here, tackling the climate change is concerned, in the climate change basics 4, I tried to inspire you, enlighten you through some basic research, advanced research and applied research, that is starting from sowing window selection for different crops in the different seasons, choosing of the crop varieties, methods of water harvesting, of course water conservation, combating the erosion, application of fertilizers in different forms, use of herbicides or weedicides. All these things are suggested for tackling the climate change on crops. Then we try to understand what is climate neutral. By definition, climate neutral is a way which produces no greenhouse gas emissions. A way which produces no greenhouse gas emissions. This is one of the ways through which climate change can be tackled for better existence of human beings, animals and crops, and better crop production, better being of human being. This can be achieved by two ways: reducing the greenhouse gas emissions and carbon offsets or carbon sinks. Okay, for climate neutral, by definition, a way which produces no net greenhouse gas emissions. This can be achieved by no further greenhouse gas emissions. What all happened, no further. Now, carbon offsets or carbon sinks. Then, of course, computation of climate change. It is a very simple process. For the advanced society like this, we have satellites, we have an extensive network of innumerable scientific laboratories. Computation is very easy. If you follow simple methodology, just find out the data, put it in the format, then go with methods or produce processes, or you can say the options that are available, put it there, then compare it with the existing analogs, whether the data that you have analyzed is able to respond to changes in the climate. Good. If not responding, options are available. This can be done. And as far as the methods are concerned, some sort of models are also being used. That we discussed as a last component of climate change basics 4. Models include theoretical models, small scale simulation models, system scale simulation models. Simple models are just a mimicry, or you can say a set. If you are interested to see Himalayas, you have to spend a lot of money, go there. Okay. However, if Himalayas are depicted in a small model, you can see what exactly, how they look, what is the height, at different heights, what is happening. So, a model is that one, in other words, a mimicry of the natural system. So, as far as the models for climate change is concerned and climate variability is concerned, very interesting theoretical concepts are developed by science. Say for example, theoretical concept, classical example is, in an area where you are studying, where your farm is located, a certain amount of rainfall, say for example 450 mm rainfall is supposed to occur as far as the prediction is concerned. So in that, what crops can be grown? You cannot grow paddy. It is a known fact, because paddy needs to minimum 1200 mm rainfall. Okay, so in the 450 mm rainfall, whether you can go for a coarse cereal or you can go for a crop of say pulse in nature, say for example. So theoretical concepts are just with the basic data available, what crop can be grown with what amount of rainfall that is expected. Now, small scale simulation models are concerned. These are all purely computer based nowadays. Wonderful, very advanced technologies are there. Say for example, you wanted to know in a relatively larger area in a district, what is the effect of temperature during the flowering of groundnut in the district area. Small scale simulation models are the best tools. If large scale simulation models you wanted to use, you can use it for a big cropping system, say rice based cropping systems in India. So what is happening? What is the data available? Whether the available envelope is useful or not for the climate change adaptation. If not, what are the options? So in the 4th class, tackling the climate change, climate neutral, computation of climate change and models for climate change, we discussed it. So in a nutshell, in the climate change basics 1, 2, 3, 4, we tried our level best to understand what is climate change and how it is impacting of our agriculture. So beloved students, please share this information, like it, you do it. You wanted any suggestions, you are welcome, and take it to more students, enlighten them, educate them, so that climate change, if we have willpower, we cannot We need not worry at all. We can tackle. We have wonderful research network at the international level, national level, and state level. What is required is will, understanding. Not only this is the basics. In the PG level, PhD level, I am going to cover certain things. Now, I would like to inspire you through a small quote by Swami Vivekananda. Education is the manifestation of perfection in the human being. So, first educate yourself, educate your next, educate the society. Thereby, we can counter the negative impacts of climate change. We take it as an opportunity so that we withstand. Thanking you very much. May God bless you. Good.